Now I'm sure you all remember the classic PS3 game, Demon's Souls. Oh crap, Demon's Souls. Now I'm sure that anyone who has ever owned a PS3 already knows of this game along with the spiritual successor Dark Souls, but I will not be talking about any of these games. I'm going to be talking about the one that came out before it, Kingsfield.
Demon's Souls is a renowned classic within the PS3 library, along with its spiritual successor Dark Souls. But for some reason, Kingsfield just didn't seem to have that kind of fame. For some reason, it just kind of fell into obscurity after a while. In fact, I was only able to find out about it when I looked up Demon's Souls, then I just happened to see the game on the page. The series was released in 1994, early within the PlayStation 1 days. In fact, it's probably the first RPG on the console, in Japan at least. America didn't get this game until Kingsfield 2 was released.
So to see where the Souls series has originated from, I'll be taking a look at the first Kingsfield game that was only released in Japan.
Well, as you can see, this game is a first-person action RPG, and if you know the Souls series, then you know the areas are completely filled with enemies, with not very many NPCs to talk to. Now in this game, there is no character creation at all. You just get put into a cemetery that's full of snakes, spiders, giants, ghosts, skeletons, and other kinds of hell. In fact, why the hell am I even here for? Am I just eager to die? Is that why I decided to come into a monster-infested cemetery with absolutely nothing but a sword? Yeah, then again, I should probably look at the backstory. Okay, Okay, so from what I can gather, I'm in a country called Verdi that was saved by a hero that no one knows who he was, and made a sanctuary that was later turned into a royal cemetery. And the new king is doing something evil, and I needed to defeat him. Well, great. A king that wants to kill everyone. I would stop him, but it's a lot harder to do because this place is full of monsters. As I said, the guy has nothing equipped but a sword, so exploring the first floor could help, or screw you over. You need to find better stuff to arm yourself with to face the challenges that wait ahead. That be done by finding chests, item drops, or buying them. However, this is the only floor in the entire game where you can buy items. There's only 2 guys to purchase from, so your options are limited. So gold just seems kind of worthless later on, since you can find better items just laying around. It's only good for healing items. It's kind of creepy that these guys don't have faces. It's just unsettling.
I know it's still early within the 3D technology in gaming, but I just don't understand why they don't have faces. Even the skeletons have faces. I just don't understand why they made that decision, but it's still creepy.
The class system in this game works differently than you would think. From the start, you're a soldier class, and you don't change it at the beginning. The only way to change your class is by increasing your strength and magic. You can only increase your strength by killing enemies with your sword and to increase magic. You do damage with your spells, and once they're high enough, your class will change. And once you're the highest class, you get to shoot magic out of your sword. It involves you pressing the swing button while pressing the magic button mid-swing, so I could never get it to work. In the usual RPG trend, you level up once you get a certain amount of experience. The maximum level you can beat is level 48, but you need 99,999 experience to get that far. So I only got to level 20 something. Too much for grind, if you ask me. Since this is the first person game on the PlayStation back in 1994, there's no analog support. So to look up and down, you have to use the L2 and R2 button. It takes a while to get used to, and to strafe you use the L1 and R1. But once you get the hang of it, it's not so bad. There are 5 floors to explore in this cemetery, and it is one of the most confusing level designs ever. If you try to wing it, you will not get very far. You will go in the circle without realizing it. It's because everything looks the same, so having a map would be helpful. But the only map that shows all 5 floors can only be found on the 4th floor, so it's kind of useless by this point. So I recommend you have an online map ready. As you're exploring these 5 floors, you can find hidden walls that contain good loot or empty chests, or a dead end. The combat in this game is very simple. Just hit triangle and you'll swing your sword, and square uses magic. However, you can't spam them. You have a power bar, and once you attack, it completely depletes, and if you attack again, you will do 0 damage. So you'll be waiting for your power meter to increase to full so you can do max damage. While you're exploring, you'll find a couple other NPCs that'll help you on your quest, such as giving you a harp to summon bridges over gaps. Makes sense to me. But some will only help you if you have a certain item, like a cross. Now that I think about it, why are there people in this hellhole? Especially the shop owners. How can they make any money in a place full of monsters? So as you keep going, you'll be facing stronger monsters. Like in the first floor, you'll fight a tree, but once you get to the second floor, you'll fight a tree that moves! Yeah, not as impressive. This game is a lot easier than I thought it would be, but that's probably due to the fact that I played the Souls games. But eventually you'll fight enemies that has a freaking loud spell that kills my ears faster than it'll kill my character. At that point, you've already powered up so you're stronger, having a healing spell and stronger and effective spells. But the respawn rate is insane in later levels, so I just walked through everyone. But before I went to go fight the final boss, I decided to go back and open up sealed dragon doors. So I had to backtrack, and it is such a chore to do. Because of the lack of NPCs, there's no events that happens to an NPC when you backtrack. So you'll be finding enemies you can one-hit kill and go through a huge area. That's why the map is useless. Except for the sealed doors, there's no reason to backtrack. And some of the chests that are locked and can only be unlocked with a key that's on floor 4 is not worth it. Some of them have a stone of Verdite, it's used to increase your magic permanently, but there's a lot more to be found in the later levels. But in one of the doors, you get the best sword in the entire game, the Moonlight Sword. Yeah, it turns out the sword was even in this game. So could it be that the entire Soul series and Kingsfield series are connected in some way, and that this is the Moonlight Sword story? But hey, it's just a theory. A game theory. Please don't sue me. So yeah, once you finish your backtracking to get the better items from the sealed doors and collect everything you need, it's time to head to the final boss. The 5th floor is entirely in pink. It's as if you're in the inside of an insides. See what I did there? Damn it! So after busting your way through some of the toughest enemies in the game and going through even more maze hell, now teleporters, perfect! You come across the king who has turned into stone. You find his son, who is some tree monster looking thing. The hell I know. At first it seems pretty hard. He shoots homing magic at you. There are faces shooting wind magic at you, and monsters being summoned, and you have to use magic to hit the damn thing. But then I found a trick that makes it easy. That's it? The terrifying enemy all this time to be stunned with magic? That's stupid. Now it's over. I finally leave the cemetery, and I found out that I'm in the middle of nowhere and will probably die of thirst or starvation. The end.
So, my conclusion? It's a bit dated, but there are still aspects of it that makes it fun even to this day.
It's still a fun game to play. It's satisfying to explore a new floor, get new equipment, and going through the game in general. The awkward controls and dated graphics takes some getting used to, and the game is just a complete maze with little to no NPCs to talk to, making backtracking a complete chore holds it back a bit.
I do wish this game was released outside of Japan. I don't know why they decided not to do it, but, you know, they probably didn't want to get it flashed at by American standards. At least we did get Kingsfield 2, 3, and 4, along with the Souls games, and hopefully with the upcoming Bloodborne released in 2015. Now, if you have a chance to actually try this game, you know, I recommend you try it, especially if you want to see where the Souls games have originated from. You'll just have to emulate most likely to understand any of the dialogue or menu system. But when you're trying to find this game, make sure it's the actual first one, not the first one by American standards. You know, if you do care about old games, which you do, right? Right?